Hey, welcome to a brand new edition of the Rundown with Ramon. My name is Ramon Ray, publisher of Zone of Genius.com, and I hope you're well and fantastic today. Today is a great day. It's another great day. If you're listening to me live, as you know, it is Wednesday, and I can't wait to have you here and share insight with you about, do nice guys finish last, or can they indeed finish first? Nice guys or gals. And I'm here at a brand new location. Of course, I'm doing some volunteer work at a small private school, and so I'm excited today. Today's my first day of teaching, and I must say, I'm a bit nervous. Small class, small school. Yeah, I've taught on the biggest stages in the world, taught all over the world, but it's a bit nervous, a bit little intimate when you're talking to students and sharing insight with them. It's a bit interesting. So welcome to today's Rundown with Ramon. Glad you're here today, Ayanna. Glad you're here, Ayanna. I assume you can hear me well and okay. Got my headphones on. I'm in a different setting, not in my studio, but hey, I think it's going to come through loud and clear. These are some fancy $500 Bose headphones, so it should be good. But not working quite perfectly. When I push the button to get the sound sounding different, it doesn't go through. But I think it's going to be okay. The room is quiet. I got a little heater there. It's still snowing outside. Not snowing outside, but the snow fell, so it's nice and white snow out in front of me. And I'm in a nice little classroom here, getting ready for my class to start in about an hour. So welcome to a brand new day. This is the Rundown with Ramon, Ayanna. And the question, of course, the question of the day. And I can't even see the title I put because I'm on my notebook and the screen is a little smaller. But basically, do nice guys, nice girls, can they finish strong? Can they win? Do we even have a chance? The axiom or the saying is that kind of nice guys finish last. We'll talk about that a bit. We'll touch on that a bit, and we'll see what you think about that. But first, let's touch on a few headlines of the day today, and then we'll dive into today's segment of the Rundown with Ramon. So, ding, 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 headline of the day today. Jumping right into this, Amazon is planning to lay off, to cut 16,000 corporate jobs. That is a lot of jobs being cut. Now, this is not the first. This is not the last when big companies will be cutting jobs. Trisha Rue, glad to have you here. And Trisha, let me know if you can hear me well and hear me okay. And I'm in a location today, and I'll talk about that in a bit more. And the bottom line is that whether you work for a company or you work for yourself, it's a reminder there is always risk. You have to take risk in some way and somewhere in everything you're doing. Me working for myself, I have lines of credit, I have debt, I've just hired people. Years before, I've had to let go of people, hire people, let go of people. These are freelancers, but this is the nature of business as the economy ebbs and flows, as your clients go and come. Thank you, Trisha. This is the nature of the beast. So the 16,000 people being laid off from Amazon, maybe 4,000 of them or 18,000 or 10,000 of them will be rehired in a different role. Who knows? But I just want to announce that because that's the headline, and we see what happens in corporations. But listen, there's no perfect opportunity. There's no perfect job. Whether you're a corporate person working for or you work for yourself, there's risk everywhere. So do understand that there's risk everywhere as we get into our main flagship topic of the day today. Do nice guys finish last? Interesting. Many of us, millions of us go to Starbucks. Starbucks turnaround progress is under the microscope. Now, Starbucks is this valuation of a multi-million dollar company. I'm going to call it billion-dollar company. But it's interesting, lessons learned from the big boys and girls. Starbucks shareholders will get a glimpse of CEO Brian Niccol's plans for the next phase of the company's turnaround efforts when it reports earnings on Wednesday. According to an anonymously sourced Reuters report, fixing the company's supply chain issues is still a work in progress. The company is rolling out new staff training sessions to make the stores more welcoming, though labor disputes remain ongoing. Meanwhile, Niccol must use the company's corporate jet for all travel, Bloomberg reports, citing security concerns. So listen, I love looking at Starbucks. Hey, Alexander Niccol, because it's a interesting look at a company that millions and millions of us, everybody probably in the Western Hemisphere understands and knows what Starbucks is. Most of us have had at least one slurp of their coffee, and you go in there and and many of us maybe have worked there in the past. You understand the green aprons, you understand the experience, you understand many of us have watched Starbucks over the past several years as growing up. And it's interesting to see how even a company like Starbucks has had to innovate, has had to pivot, has had to turn around, has had to see what works and what doesn't work. LaShawn, glad to have you here. Thank you for being here on the Rundown with Ramon. So it's been an interesting microcosm, and this is why success leaves clues. This is why I like to look at large companies. One, you don't see oftentimes what goes in the smaller businesses. Alexandra has her community of amazing people. I just hired Lovejoy from Alexandria's community, amazing photography services businesses, investing thousands of dollars literally with them to videotape and be with me at IYMS. We don't have a case study of their business. There's no Wall Street Journal writing about their business. They're small and they're making whatever they're making, but the large brands, that's where a lot of the limelight, understandably, is on. So success leaves clues. So what is Starbucks doing? Starbucks is this company that started, got investor money, and grew to have thousands of retail shops around the world serving coffee. But as we know, the journey of Starbucks, they're not just serving coffee, they're serving an experience. The music that you hear, the smells that you have, the investment in the right type of staff of all shapes and sizes and hues and colors, wearing the green aprons, putting the little smiley face on the cups of coffee and more. That's all part of an experience. Going through, do we have people stay in the store and focus on that and put couches and chairs and Wi-Fi and electrical sockets and more? And or is it to get people in and out quick with our app? There's no right way to do it. As I look at how Ramon Ray is growing, what Ramon Ray is doing in my business, as many people here are exactly the special cups. As I look at how Ramon Ray is growing my business, as I look at how I'm evolving in 2026, it's a very clear road now. It's still in test phase. I don't know how it's going to go. It's only January 2026, and you could be hearing this in February and March. You could be hearing this years later. But as I'm looking at my own growth, I'm planning for my next big event taking place in the fall in New York City. I'm making plans now for an event that will take place in October, where I envision hundreds of people will show up. Second thing, Genius Talks. It's launching, it's growing. We're a boutique gathering of entrepreneurs, of business owners, some events sponsored, some events not. A boutique gathering of growth-minded entrepreneurs, some 10 million, some 25 million, some less in revenue. That event is taking off and growing. We already have, it's almost sold out for our New York City Genius Talks. And then I think of what's happening with Ramon's office hours. Or Ramon office hours, where I open up the door to have people coach and learn with me. We have clients. It is growing. And then I think of what I'm doing is I'm speaking on stages, as I'm already starting to do that. But even as I'm speaking on stages, I'm not stopping there. I'm thinking, how do I make an investment? And how do I grow more of what I'm doing to take it to the next level? This is what it takes. So Starbucks is in that phase, and we can be in that phase as well. This will be an abbreviated version of the Rundown with Ramon. I'm here, by the way, if you didn't know, I'll mention again, here volunteering at a small private school. So I have a small class where I'll be teaching speech. I'll be teaching communications. And what's exciting for me, by God's grace, yes, I don't claim things that I do very well. It feels weird to say I'm great at this, but yes, I believe God has blessed me with the gift, with the talent, something I've learned, and it is a gift as well of communication, of speech, of delivery from stage and beyond. How you use your hands, how you use your voice, how you use your face, how you pause, how you continue. And so I was asked by this small school to teach a class. And I'm so excited because not only do I get to impart to students and teach to them, but I'm also excited because I get to learn. The more you teach, the more you learn. So like today, part of the class is, how do you deal with stage fright? What do you do if you make a mistake? I know that. I've gone through that, but me teaching it will also make me be a better speaker. Hey, and I love it. Alexandria asked about IYMS. IYMS, I think, is Friday, Saturday, Sunday, I believe, last weekend in January, I think 31 or something like that. IYMS.world, IYMS.world, or she could be talking to Tricia, but IYMS.world is, of course, the last weekend in January, that Friday, Saturday, and then I think there's a special church service on Sunday, but the main event is on Saturday, the last Saturday in January. So let me dive into this topic of the day today. Ding, 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 ding. Talking about nice guys. Can they finish first? And here's why I thought about this. I've been called, and I am kind of the nice guy. My selling style is not as stoic as maybe others. Hey, Alexandra, it's $45,000. Do you want it? My selling style is a bit different. And being on the call with Glenn Lundy and TM Hyman, realized I can even do that better. Sometimes maybe I talk through the close, but that's not what I'm getting at right now. I'm getting at my selling style is conversational. My selling style is very much making people feel comfortable. My selling style is not even making it, just enjoying the moment with people. My selling style is often a lot of laughs and conversation. And frankly, it's not even laughs and conversation. It's not where I'm trying to sell. It's my my innate, my built-in desire of just making conversation, of just building a relationship with people. This is what I'm doing, building a relationship with people. And so when I ask the question, when I think about the question, I don't think it depends on if you're the nice type of guy, nice type of girl, or if you're a bit more stoic, a bit more serious, a bit more sniper focused of how you show up, sniper in a good way. I think every style can work. The key is, what do the results say? And when I think about me being able to sell $100,000 deals, me being able to sell $150,000 deals, as I've done, I know brand sponsorships very, very well. And part of the brand sponsorship is, do I trust you? You're dealing with a company like MasterCard, like Dell, like Zoho, Steelcase, any huge, large company. Part of it is, do they trust you? Do they just like you? Do they just like you? That's part of it. And if they like you now, of course, do you have the solution that they need? Do they have believe in the integrity of your business, the integrity of your company? That's part of it. Did you follow the right procedures for the purchase order? Did you fill out that purchase order, but the RFP, request for product? I think that's what RFP stands for. Did you follow those procedures? You have to do that right. But also in the selling, remember, we're human. So Alexandria works for big company X. She has to evaluate which way to go. But I can bias Alexandria by me showing up and smiling, by me showing up and being a friend, by me showing up, maybe bringing her some chocolate or flowers, not bribing her, not like that, but just being human. And she's not sure whether to pick me or the next guy. By me being more human, by me building a deeper relationship, I probably will win that contract more than she will, because I've done that. And of course, Alexandra would beat me all day and twice on Sunday. But I hope you understand that example. Alexandra says here, yes, selling for me, also conversational and letting my clients and members have what we offer that aligns with their goals. Absolutely. So yes, there are ways to sell. You're selling a vehicle. So you've talked and showed the vehicle. Well, the vehicle's $39,000. Do you want it? I'm exaggerating. That's not how you close, maybe, but you get my point. There's ways to do that. But I find as well, you can enjoy the process. You can enjoy the service to the client. You can enjoy them. When I hired this vendor who's doing photography and video services for me in Myrtle Beach at IYMS, there were several people that reached out to me. Understand this. They didn't just have a shoe in. Several people reached out to me. One person DM'd me directly. He's a photographer of one of my mentors and coaches, and they do outstanding work. But I went on Lovejoy. One, Alexandra referred them, and actually, in a moment, I had forgot she did. But how Lovejoy reached out to me, the intention of Janine and her partner, her husband, I believe it is Joe. She was like, Ramon, before we start, what's your goal with this? Ramon, how do you want to feel when we do this? I'm like, whoa, this is another level of photography and video services. She didn't get to what's the room, what's the lighting, what's the venue. She talked about me. How do I want to feel? Why am I doing this? What's the goal? And I'm like, that's what I like. That's how I want to be sold, as it were. This is how I want to do it. This is the people I want to work with, who gets me, how I show up. Maybe I'm a humorous person. Maybe I'm not. Maybe I'm really particular about how things look. Maybe I am. Maybe I'm not. And I happen to not be. Now, there's pros and cons to that. Maybe I should be a bit more disciplined. Maybe I should be a bit more focused. Maybe I should be a bit more demanding. Maybe I should, but it's just not my style. I'm a firm believer, and everybody's not this way. I want to make sure everybody listening, oh, I'm like that too. I'm like that too. No, everybody need not be that way. That's me. But when I hire a vendor, and I've been burned once or twice in the hundreds of times I've hired people who maybe they took advantage of my kindness. They took advantage of my laissez-faire attitude. They weren't up to par to do the job. But when I hire somebody that's doing services, generally, I assume they know what they're doing. Now, have I been burned in the past? Absolutely, I have. Hey, Erica, glad you're here today. When I say burned, I had one vendor I was working with, somebody on my team, and I asked her to do some WordPress edits. I gave her two chances. The first chance, she toasted my whole site. Second chance, I said, do you know what you're doing? And she toasted it again. So I had her stop doing it. But that was my fault. I realized I had asked them to do something that wasn't quite a skill set for them, that wasn't really what they could do, even though they said they could do it. That was on me. But that doesn't happen to me a lot. And guess what? I had backups. I restored my site very quickly. So for this opportunity, when hiring, say, a photographer and videographer, I looked at their past work. Seems like they could do it. I told them what I want. They said yes. I'm hoping for the best. But I've hired photographers in the past. They sent me lots of pictures, but it had no context, had no depth. It was me against a gray wall. It didn't show my hand shaking somebody's hand, their smile, my smile, and an action shot. Look at something I posted on Facebook just now. That's the kind of photos I want. That's the kind of videos I want. So what I'm getting here is about nice guys. I'm melding this in because I think it's okay to be a nice guy. I think it's okay to be a nice girl. I think it's okay to have a smile. I think it's okay to be a little vulnerable. Yes, some people will see that and take advantage of you. That may happen. But for me, this is how I am, how I show up. Now, my son, he's a bit more stoic, a bit more serious. He's a very nice guy, but he's a bit more business-like. He's a bit more, let's get it done like this. And I can be like that too in some sorts. But me, first and foremost, my love language, I like to have a nice laugh. I like to have a good time. I like to just make the world a better place. My tagline on my emails, if any of you got email from me, what does it say? Unapologetically positive. This is how I like to live. First and foremost, I want to have fun. First and foremost, I want to have a good time. If we can learn, if we can grow, make money together, that's great. That may not be a best way to live life because maybe I'd be much more wealthy. Maybe I'd be wealthy if I was focused on the money first, if I was focused on building revenue first, if I was focused on the transaction first. It's just not me. So my question of the day today, if you're the stoic guy, stoic girl, if you're the more serious guy, serious girl, and it's working for you, that's great. Keep being you. That's the most important. Keep being the best version of yourself. But the thing I don't want is don't ding me because I'm the guy with the jokes, because I'm the guy with the laugh. Don't ding me for that. Now, can it be too much? Can it get to the point of being foolishness and it's too much at the wrong time? Of course it can. But I like to think by God's grace, it's not like that. A woman comes in and says, hey, I just went through cancer surgery. We're going to embrace her. The energy will shift in the room. Somebody say, hey, my dad died, or I just got out of an abusive relationship. We're going to shift the energy in the room and embrace that young man. However, don't try to be me, and I won't try to be you. My name is Ramon Ray. This is the Rundown with Ramon, reminding you, and thank you, Alexandra, for asking that question. We're going to answer that in 2 seconds. If you have a question for me, now is your chance to answer it before I get off the air and before I go volunteer and teach my communication class in this beautiful, small private school that I'm excited to teach my first class in. I've taught before over the years in schools and things and done professorship and et cetera, but it's been a while. And so it's a bit new for me. But I'm excited to have you here. Start your day, build your day. Glad you're here on the Rundown with Ramon, whether you're hearing it live or you're hearing the many people who hear it in a replay on our podcast. And more reminding you, this episode is brought to you by Bitdefender. Here's what's interesting. When you go home at night, what do you do? When you leave your house, what do? You click, lock the door of your house. When you think about it, what do you do when you are in your car? What do you do when you leave your car? What do you do when you park your car? You lock the door of your car. What about your business? Is your business secure? Do you know that ransomware is real? Malware is real. Phishing threats are real. Hacks are real. Nefarious websites are real. QR code attacks are real. Thank you, Tricia. These are real things. And the question is your business secure? So I want you to be aware. I want you to educate yourself. Be careful when you click on a link, but also to make sure you install on your computer security software that keeps your computer safe and secure. Go to bitdefender.com, bitdefender.com/Ramon, bitdefender.com/Ramon, and check out the solutions we have to help you have a secure business. Alexandria Nicole asked an amazing question. Alexandria, thank you for always asking some amazing questions of me. I love it. It helps the show and love answering it. So, what role does consistency play versus talent and long-term success? Wow, Alexandria, that is a tough question. It's not easy. And here's why I say that. Most of the gurus and smart people and others would say consistency, consistency, consistency. And they're right. Being consistent is good because depending on how the question is asked, you get better and better and better what you're doing. And you become to have that, maybe that talent. You develop that skill and get better and better at it over time. There's another way to look at that, though. You may be consistently doing something and not have the talent for it, not have the skill of it, and you end up wasting your time being consistent, doing something for 2 years, for 3 years, for 4 years, for 5 years that you're really not very good at because nobody pushed you and said, this is not for you. Now, talent, though, if you are the best at what you do, you may be able to shorten your cycle and get ahead because you're good at it. So there's a yin and a yang. But yes, if I had to vote and pick one, absolutely consistently showing up over and over again, being there over and over again, being reliable over and over again. Consistency builds trust over and over again. But I don't want us to short circuit. I don't want us to ignore the power of pure talent, especially if it's a gift, as it were, or talent. Gifts, I think, are things that I think the gifts is the one you're born with, what you do innately. The talent is kind of the skill you can learn. The talent is something you can adapt. I believe that's what it is. But y'all smart people out there know what I'm talking about. But I think both are so important. And I think let's leverage to do both. Let's leverage to improve our skills and get better with our talents or our gifts and get better at the tactical things we're doing. But let's do it consistently. My show, The Rundown with Ramon, or other online things I've done, you can look at my stats. I don't have millions of followers. I don't even have hundreds of thousands of followers at all. Compared to some, my follower count could be very low. But over the years, I've been able to pay myself consistently. I've been able to feed my family consistently. I've been able to hire people on a team consistently. I've been able to start 5 companies and sell 3 companies consistently. Have I sold them for millions? Nope, not at all. Haven't sold them for millions. But have I been able to sell them for hundreds of thousands of dollars? Yes, I have. And I'm very proud of that. Now, in my next phase, which you're watching Ramon do right now, as my consulting services and Ramon office hours grows and I serve more and more people, watch that. Success leads clues. Watch it grow. As Ramon comes back to doing in-person events, my Genius Talks events, I'm planning right now to do a big event in India. As I do Genius Talks, as I do my Genius Entrepreneur Summit coming up in the fall. Watch. Success leaves clues. As you see this show growing, I have a major call with a major publication coming up next week, I believe it is. Don't know where the call will go. We've talked a bit by email. She's a major player in this huge streaming service. You may see the Rundown with Ramon jump to levels you couldn't even imagine, or not. We'll see how the conversation goes, but I can't believe we're going to have a conversation if she was going to tell me, nah, we're not going to work with you. I have conversations coming up about me hosting another very high level event, which I won't talk about, but I hosted it last year in Las Vegas, talking about doing that again. So I told you, 2026 will be my best year ever. 2026 will be my best year ever, by God's grace. And I can't wait to take you all on the journey with me. I had a conversation with Trisha Root today about doing some work with me about this, that, and the other. Right? Me and Alexandria have talked, and she's in my circle, I'm in her circle, as we soar together and uplift each other. Many of you are working with me in one way or another, and I'm honored. This is what excites me, realizing I don't need to hire Gary Vaynerchuk, who I love, who's amazing. I don't need to hire Seth Godin, who's amazing and has invested in me and was given of me over the years. But my point is, I say I don't need that, as I'm realizing more and more, Ramon Ray also has value. Ramon Ray has cachet. And some of you may go, oh, Ramon, you should know that. Well, everybody doesn't know that. Everybody doesn't feel that all the time. Sometimes you have to come to a season where you realize, yeah, I think I can do this in a different way. And I had a call with the partners I'm working at for this event in India. And they said, Ramon, we want to center this event around you. And I pushed back and said, no, 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 no. I'm just Ramon. I'm not famous. It's like reminding them, y'all know I'm not famous, right? I'm not Damon John. I'm not Barbara Corkin. I'm not Mark Cuban. I'm not Elon Musk. And they said, oh, no, we know that. But we've seen you. We see what you do. And we know that your face, your name at our event will help this event go 10x. I was like, wow. So why am I sharing this with you like this? I'm sharing with you what other people are doing, yes, but I'm also sharing you with what I'm doing because you've taken the time to invest your time in listening to me. And I want to share with you my journey so you can learn as well. Everybody, my name is Ramon Ray. This is the Rundown with Ramon here, volunteering my time today, getting ready to teach a class on speech communication at a small private school. And I'm so excited. I appreciate each and every one of you being there. Thank you, Trisha Rue, for being here. Thank you, Alexandria. Thank you, LaShawn. Thank you so many who joined us today. And the many, thank you, Erica, and the many who will watch us on demand and the replay. If you're hearing the sound of my voice right now, by the way, and you're listening on the replay, do me a favor and type replay in the chat and let me know. If you have a question for me and you're hearing the sound of my voice and it's after the show, ask a question and I'll do my best to answer it in the comments or I'll answer it on an upcoming episode. My name is Ramon Ray. Don't forget, go to zoneofgenius.com, zoneofgenius.com, so you don't miss out on content like this. Sign up for our email newsletter. And those of you who've been saying, Ramon, I want to work with you. Ramon, I want you to coach me. Go to RamonOfficeHours.com, RamonOfficeHours.com, and let me coach you how to build your business. We talk about mindset. We talk about marketing. We talk about money. We talk about sales. We talk about family and business and more in Ramon Office Hours. So, hey, Thanks for showing up. Thanks for being here. Have a beautiful, beautiful day and seek to make an impact in the life of somebody else. Seek to make a difference in somebody's lives. And thank you, Alexandra, for your encouragement. What a great way to end the show. You are valuable, my friend, and deserve all the success. I appreciate that. And we do deserve it. Be blessed. Have an amazing day.